Hello, everyone. This is Dr. John Johnson with 1 Minute Closer. It's great to have Dr. Molero on the channel today as a guest. Dr. Molero was my student in a doctorate program, and he recently finished his doctorate. Dr. Molero, thank you so much for taking time to be with us today. I greatly appreciate it.
Dr. Johnson, thank you very much for having me here. I have been looking forward to this opportunity a long time ago. It's really a pleasure being with you.
It's my pleasure. And as you know, we talk on the channel about how individuals achieved their goals. And I wanted to ask you today, what barriers did you face on the road to obtaining your doctorate, and how did you overcome them?
Well, that is a very interesting question because it goes back to when I got my master's degree. Even though that I had my Bachelor of Science degree and a first master's degree abroad, that did not qualify enough to make sure that the university where I study grant me that I know English. So they put me to take a TOEFL test.
Oh, no.
So I felt discouraged because one thing is you talking and reading newspaper and watching news, and another thing is taking a test, a proficient test like the TOEFL. So the university told me that I have to take the TOEFL and prove that with 80% proficiency. Guess what? I passed it with 82%.
Oh, that's great. That's
so that was gas enough to get started, get the ball rolling, get my master's degree and my focus on global management. Great. Then in my job, I lost a $2 million project, and it was because cultural differences. So I started to research what was it, and there was not too much to read back then in 2014. Sure. So I decided to bring some knowledge to the world in this regard. So I got in, no problem. Everything was smooth and easy until a year and a half that I was about to finish the dissertation. And it was that I had to present the first 3 chapters. I faced the cruel reality that I don't write, even though that I had written like 800 essays, I did not have what it was needed to write a dissertation. So I had acknowledged this weakness. I had to hire some professional guidance when it comes to writing and academic talk and be trained in that.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I just think that's so wonderful that you were willing to do that because I work with a lot of doctoral students, and many doctoral students need to develop their writing on the road to the doctorate, but a lot of them don't have the courage to do that. So I salute you for that.
Thank you very much. And the thing is that when you acknowledge your weakness, it's easier to achieve whatever you want because you just release that burden out of you.
Right.
All right. So that was done, fine and dandy. And then, okay, let's now practice and do the chapters 4 and 5. Guess what? The CEO was changed. No. So I had to go through the IRB process again. Oh. It took me 6 weeks. Oh. When I got the approval, slightly after 2 or 3 weeks after those 6 weeks, the vice president of sales got changed. Oh, no. Again, I had to go through the IRB process again.
Oh, no.
So here I am. Okay, after everything was approved, then I had to launch my pilot test because I have a qualitative study. And during the pilot test, 2 questions came along. One was why United States is not here. That was the first person that I interviewed as a pilot. And the second person asked me, do you think this is complete without United States in? All right, so I had to change because it was easy for me just to be on the global part because my dissertation is about cultural intelligence and virtual sales teams, global virtual sales teams. So for me, it was easy, just take the United States out because I work there, no bias whatsoever, and then move forward. But guess what? I had to put United States in, and I had to prove that there was no bias. So the way to go around the bias is that we have 3 business units, East, Mid, and West Coast. So I interview nobody from the East Coast that works for me. And I don't have any relationship whatsoever with the Midwest nor the West Coast. So we went around that. And Canada was part of the United States. Just when I got that squared out and everything was fine and dandy, my company decided to restructure their sales organization. Oh, no. And now now Canada doesn't report to United States anymore.
Oh.
So now I had to include Canada there. So I went again through IRB and put the whole scope of things.
Oh, no.
All right, so now we're ready to collect the data. Guess what? The war in Ukraine and Russia started. So out of the people that I was going to interview, or the people that the potential candidates, there were one was from Ukraine, two were from Russia, one was from Belarus. So I had that part of the world in business that was going to be very, very rich, because of course they're not capitalism, you know. So that it was interesting. It was going to be a nice, interesting having a capitalism and a socialism point of view in a cultural intelligence business. Right? So, well, guess what? I couldn't do that, and I have to rearrange everything again for collecting the data. Which at the end, God has mysterious ways to work, because I ended with 20 participants out of 13 countries and 4 continents.
Amazing. That's incredible.
All right. So once everything was done, you know, what else can happen? I got everything written. I got my chair put off the project.
Yeah, your chair can quit. And in this case, I was the chair that quit, which is unfortunate. And I didn't want to quit. But I had several other organizations that I had a lot of obligations to. And I had a family member in distress emotionally at the time too. So I had to pull out to help with my family. And Dr. Molero took it all in stride. His attitude was so great during that time. And he went ahead. He moved ahead, which I thought, honestly, Dr. Molero, when I had to stop being your chair, I thought I would never hear from you again. But no, when he gets through with his doctorate, I get a call that he's finished, which is wonderful.
Well, like I said before, God has mysterious ways of working. And at this time, if I have to say something about that, you were meant to have me in this path, because it was easier to find another chair than find another dissertation topic. So it was just fine. But that was not the only thing, because right after I got assigned a second chair, they had to pull him off because he was not doing nothing there. So he was just creating a delay. So I had a third chair in place.
Oh, no.
And
No.
once that was said and go, yeah.
No.
And then after that was said and done, then was the dissertation topic, right? The presentation of it. And it was very good. It was a very good experience, because just 16 hours before the presentation time, I just heard many and read about many presentation tactics of dissertations.
Great.
And none of them fulfilled what I was looking for, until somebody said something that impacted me. It says, do not think you are a specialist on methodology. So just learn your methodology just to justify why you use it. So with those words, I changed the strategy of presentation. So instead of presentation, my project and how the methodology helped, I presented the methodology and what I did with the methodology to find the results.
Great.
And at the end, it was very good strategy, because I had no questions about it. My only 4 questions that I had at the end was about the project itself, no methodology whatsoever. So that's what I did to over.
Well, what an amazing story, Dr. Molero, and I salute you for overcoming the barriers. You faced barriers that many people don't face. And I think in particular, all the organizational changes, we have a lot of doctoral students whose studies are dependent on organizations, and it can be very challenging to overcome those. And your willingness to develop yourself further in the process and your own skills. So I salute you for a job well done. Excellent work on that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Johnson.
I know that, and you have a great future ahead as an academic and a professor. And I thank you again. Thank you again for your time today. It's greatly appreciated.
It has been, besides an honor, a pleasure with you. I was looking for this a long time ago.
Thank you so much. Well, that's it for today, folks. If you enjoy my videos, subscribe to my channel, and now you're 1 minute closer. Take care.